Hello, guys. Welcome to another episode of Mostly Sci-Fi Podcast. This is Mostly Sci-Fi, and I am your host. So today we're going to talk quickly about the Quantumania, um, the Ant-Man and Wasp Quantumania. I went and saw it with my daughter on Saturday, and I have to say, because there's not going to be any spoilers. It's going to be like pretty quick. So I don't know what Disney's doing. I liked it on a level of, it's pure entertainment. You consume it and then you wait for the next one. Basically, there was nothing that kind of blew me away. That was holy crap. This is dope. I don't know if you can do that anymore. Like everything has been done already or whatever, but it wasn't really original, I would say. I think it reminded me of something that I forgot to talk about. I don't know. It reminded me of something that we've already saw before. I just can't seem to recall it, but it's like one of those movies where you see it and some of the elements remind you of something. The thing that most messed me up is that they kind of relegated the male character. What's this guy's name? Jesus, I can't even remember his name, man. Oh, Paul Rudd. I mean, I feel bad for the dude, man, because they have just minimized his role to like a cuck. And it's like, he didn't really do anything. Like, it was just, man. I don't know. I mean, my daughter came out. She was like, I was disappointed. That's my 12-year-old daughter who liked Spider-Man. She's like, Spider-Man is one of the greatest. Right? And she was just like, yeah, there's a lot to be desired. I didn't go to sleep on it. I didn't think it was boring. But I thought there should be more punch to it. There wasn't enough punch. One thing that I liked was Jonathan Myers. What's his name? Jonathan Majors. Sorry, Jonathan Majors. Kang the Conqueror, or Kang, whoever they want to call him, like Kang the Conqueror. He did a very good job, and he's pretty much the only thing that I liked in the movie. Like he did a really good job, and it's sad that his talents are being wasted on just kind of, is this like a dud, man? Like, it was a dud, man. It was a dud. Like, it's not, it was a dud. It was just something that you consume and then you wait for the next installment. So, when they say consume, wait for next product. So basically that's what it was. Consume it. You're entertained. We did what we were paid to do, and then wait for next product. And that's how I kind of felt. And I also felt that the men are minimized to just nothing. So you have all these strong women. I think I counted one from the warrior tribe. The kind of male characters, or whether you would call them male, but based on how they acted and the way they sounded. But they were like put in these type of weird positions where they were personified, right? They weren't like humanoid. They weren't human. They were personified into objects or stuff, other things like this that made them kind of, okay, well, almost like trans. Okay, because they weren't human or whatever, or they weren't like, what I mean when I'm saying they weren't human and classified into a sex, but you knew that this is a male character that they have squashed down and they want to stomp, repeatedly stomping on your face, So you had these characters that were like that. But these strong, the ones that are human, were all women, strong women characters. and they were like really strong. So you had the Paul Rudd's husband. I don't even know what the dude's name is because it didn't have any lasting impression on me. So it was like Paul Rudd's wife, which is like the Wasp, and then you got Michelle Pfeiffer, who's the Wasp's mother. And then you got the granddaughter, which is Paul Rudd's daughter. And they're all like super powerful and no flaws. And they do shit, they do stuff, and there's no consequences really for what they do, or we're not shown. Even Pfeiffer's character, where she does something, she does a lot of things that are reprehensible, and she's not made to pay. Okay? It's just, oh yeah, I did that. So what? Like this. You can't really feel that she was made to pay for the things that she did. So you had that. You also had the Wasp, who was just like, it's weird because they put too much cooks in the kitchen. Like, they had all these strong women, and you're trying to pick which one is the strongest, basically. Which one is the strongest woman? Which one's going to kick Paul Rudd in the balls first? And basically, that's what it was. It was the proverbial kick in the balls. He didn't actually get kicked in the balls. Not like Loki did. But it's basically who gets kicked in the balls first. Who's going to be the first one? No, who's going to be the first one to kick this dude in the balls? And they kind of proverbially kick him in the balls. Like he's the running joke throughout the whole film. Right? And I think the best part of the movie was like the last 2 minutes. That was the best part of the movie. Last 3 minutes is the best part of the movie. The rest of the movie is just very forgettable. Except for Jonathan Majors, which I am so sorry that he had to be in this, because he is very talented. And I think if they had did this movie years earlier, and they would have kept on the road to just making movies without being political, like Endgame and what's the one before that? I even forgot the one, the Infinity Gauntlet Stones or whatever. If they had made the movie in that vein, where you're not preaching to anyone, but you just got a freaking dope ass bad guy or dope ass villain, you would make you're not talking about like $1 billion. You can make $2 billion if you just stick to the script and stop being so political. And the problem is that Disney wants to be everything at once. They want to be woke, but when you're woke, you don't get the capital, you don't get the money, right? So they want to be woke, but at the same time, they want to try to pander to a crowd that they know loves comic books. And so they're stuck in this type of kind of, I don't know what to call it, but they're stuck in this kind of conundrum or problem that they cannot get themselves out of because they refuse to stand up to the woke mob. The woke mob is ruining everything in entertainment. Okay, they tried to ruin Harry Potter. They didn't do that because that thing is selling like hotcakes. I'm probably going to buy it just because it's going to make some kind of trans person pissed off. I actually got attacked from the last video I made with the last review I made about Vox Ex Machina because I said I don't want no trans junk. And I'll say it again. I don't like trans junk in my movies or in my entertainment. I don't like none of that junk, okay? I will continue to say that. You could try to cancel me. I don't care, okay? I don't like the trans junk in my... It's unnatural. I don't like it. I don't want it. I don't want my kids watching that junk, okay? If you want to be if you want to pretend that you're like a box or a freaking pair of shoes, you go ahead and do that. All right? But I'm not going to support it, and I'm not going to pretend like you're a freaking pair of sneakers. Okay? Or that you're a woman and you're a man and all of a sudden you want to be a woman. We're not going to be doing that stuff, at least not on this channel. And you could do and try to bully me as much as you want. I'm not going for it. Okay? That's just me. I'm not going to be bullied out of that stuff because you know what? Because I don't make no darn money on this channel anyway, so I don't got nothing to pander to. Right? So you could go ahead and the last video, I had to take off the comments because they're just like, Vox Ex Machina is very trans friendly. It's very LGBT friendly. I said they can be. Okay? I'm not against LGBT. Okay? But what I am against is I don't want you preaching it to me. And the reason why I didn't know that there was trans in there is that they didn't preach it to me. That was the point of the whole conversation that I was trying to talk about, the monologue that I was saying, is that they're not preaching it to me. So I don't know that they're really, or I didn't pay attention because they're not saying, hey, I'm trans! You know? I'm a trans. Look at me. Look, I'm trans. You know, like, it's like the freaking, what do they call that? The tattoo syndrome. Tattoo on a face syndrome. It's like, you put a tattoo on your goddamn face, and then when people stare at you, you're like, why are you staring at me for? Because you put a tattoo on your goddamn face. That's why I'm staring at you. Stupid. You know? And so you have these people that say, we want to be treated like everybody else. But the thing is, you're not like everybody else. When you claim you're a trans person, you're not like everybody else. You are different. And to me, all this is maybe it's the BPA in the water or something like that, and people are just weird, or maybe just people just want attention. And they say, you know, like Devato, whatever her name is, that fat white woman that's with the short hair that sings and stuff, Devato or whatever. She's like, oh yeah, I identify as some alien or something, and then she says, oh no, I'm back to being a girl again. This is stupid. It's dumb, okay? And people are starting to wake up and they're not going for this crap, right? So you could call me a hater if you want. I like to be entertained, okay? I do not like to be preached to. I do not mind if there are some trans people in it. I don't really have problem with trans people. I just have problems with people trying to force it down my throat like it's a 12-inch penis. Okay? Stop it. Okay, you're trans. I understand. No problem. Let's move on. You know, that's with anything. If you're trying to shove anything down my throat, I don't want that stuff. It could be the same thing as beer, like everywhere. I'm in school. Look, drink Sapporo, drink Sapporo, drink Sapporo beer. Drink it now, you know, everywhere, in inappropriate settings, everywhere. Of course, at some point, I'd be like, well, I don't mind Sapporo, but at some point, I'm like, yo, stop trying to put this down my throat, force it down my throat. I am consuming it. Be happy that I am consuming it. Okay? Just with the trans movement. Be happy I am consuming it. Even though I don't agree, everybody got a right to kind of own space. Just don't be shoving it down my throat. Not in everything that I consume. Don't force this down people's throats. Because then you're going to force them to hate it. And that's why they don't like trans movement or whatever. It's because you're forcing people to accept something that they're just not used to accepting that they haven't been brought up to accept. And I feel like it's not fair to me because when I was brought up that a man's a man, is a woman's a woman, and you have gay, you have lesbians, and you have bisexuals. That's what I was born with. And then all of a sudden in 2018, there becomes 90,000 freaking genders. And then I'm like, you have to accept that. Why? It came out of nowhere, you know? And so I know it's going into a rant, a Quantumania and all that stuff, but when I was looking at this video, that's what happened. All these things start coming up to me. Quanta what? And it's just like, what? Quantumania? No, this is the same kind of woke nonsense garbage that Disney is trying to push. That some 70-pound woman, 80-pound woman can beat up a 200-pound guy. Man, it can't happen, man, unless she has some superpower. Right? I mean, they had a scene in there where you have like 90-pound Michelle Pfeiffer. You know how tall she is, right? She's like freaking 4'8" or some junk. You got 4'8", 90-pound Michelle Pfeiffer, like knocking out this freaking alien and doing all this kind of stuff. Like, what? Like, you're 90 pounds. Stop it. And you're 70 years old. Michelle Pfeiffer is like 65 or something. She's basically a senior citizen. She can't be ducking and doing that. She's liable to break her freaking collarbone. Or like my neck, my back, my neck and my back. You know, that's what you're liable to do. You're not liable to duck and then doom and bopping and weaving and bop, 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 hit them with the three-piece. Are you crazy? Like, nobody believed that. So when I saw that, I was like, what? You know? And so you have this type of thing going on. Oh, yo. Nobody got time for that. Like, we don't got time for this kind of stuff. And what I can say is I do look forward to Jonathan Majors playing Kong the Conqueror. Okay? Or I keep on calling him Kong because I've been to China. And Kang is like Kongor, Kong Chao. It's spelled the same way. So I tend to say Kong when it's Kang. Okay, so Kang the Conqueror. I'm looking forward to him playing Kang the Conqueror, but him in this was a waste of talent. Like, this thing was just some feminist grab again agenda. And I'm like, people, go back to Mandalorian. Whatever you did in Mandalorian, just replicate that. You know, whatever you did in Mandalorian Season 1, Season 2 was good too. Season 1 and Season 2, whatever you did in that, replicate that and you will have... Can you imagine if Disney just acted normal and stopped kissing ass to the woke? They would already be like a $2 trillion company. But the problem is they keep on trying to get up with the woke, which makes me believe that they don't care about money. Because if they did, they would stop this garbage. And they're about 1 or 2 movies away from me just saying, fuck it, I'm out. Like I'm not watching another Disney movie or film again. Like, they're like 1 or 2 movies away. Yo, because this is getting out of hand. So this is mostly sci-fi. Well, mostly.